Not all days are great. So sometimes we just need that extra push and that extra love from the Lord. I was getting ready to go to the gym, and I was like, before I go to the gym, before I do anything like that, let me go ahead and read something. Read something that's going to be productive and uplifting instead of scrolling on social media to make myself feel bad that I don't have whatever type of life somebody else has. You know what I mean? I honestly had a conversation, and I was like, with myself. And I was like, there was a bunch of things going in my head, like, well, you're not this, you're not that, you suck, you are a loser, like this and that. And I know those thoughts creep into our soul. Sometimes we do stay in those deep thoughts, and it's not good for us. It's not good for us to stay in the deep thoughts. So I was like, I'm gonna get out of bed, I'm going to get ready to go to the gym, and then I'm just gonna go. But then I was like, if I just go out there without reading a little piece of Jesus, I don't think it's gonna go that well. So I'm gonna get ready while I read You Got This. I'm watching Aquamarine. It's just a good movie. I want to be a mermaid when I grow up. I would ask those dumb questions growing up as a kid. They're not dumb questions, but they're just weird questions. And my parents were like, what is she talking about? I'd be like, do mermaids exist? What happens when I die? Am I gonna come back as a mermaid? Did dinosaurs really exist? Because it doesn't say it in the Bible. I was one of those kids, and my parents did not have the answer. They were just like, let's not question it, because we don't know what you're talking about. I'm gonna go to the gym, so I don't want to wear a bunch of makeup, but I do want to cover these ojeras though. Take some of this off. Let's take some of my mustache off. I was in high school, and somebody commented on my mustache. I'm not gonna say who, but it was a dude. And when I got home, I was like, oh my God, I need to shave it off. Like, I cried. I was like, what a little jerk. So let's do a little bit of that. Blend it in. Gonna be somewhat a mustache. Did it work? It worked. Let me read. It's called Grace. My grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness. Therefore, I will boast all the more gladly of my weaknesses, so that the power of Christ may rest upon me. 11 Corinthians. 2 Corinthians 12:9. Bro, that's like today's struggle. Sometimes we are our own worst enemies. We tell ourselves we are not good enough, that we could lose a few more pounds, or that our lives would be so much better if we didn't have X, Y, or Z. Enter grace. Okay, I need to put these on because I can't see. The old lady. Okay, think of the wonderful grace we receive from God. What if we started giving ourselves grace too? What if we allowed ourselves to be at peace with who we are? God made us in his image and how he wanted us to be. Maybe he made you with freckles or with long brown hair, or maybe he made you a fast runner or someone who is better at cheering from the sidelines. We were all made to be who we are. Why are you hard on yourself when you were designed to be just who you are by the One Most High? When we start realizing whose we are, that's when grace can enter. When we are able to give ourselves grace, we can more easily offer it to others too. So even if we're having a bad day, and if there's a million thoughts going around in my head about how I'm not good enough, I need to give myself grace, because the only thing that is good enough is that I am God's. When have you wished you had received grace from another person? Think of a time recently when you could have offered grace to someone else. How do you think the situation would have been different if you had shown them love and grace instead? Practice today, not only with yourself, but with others too. When you do this, you'll start to see yourself the way God sees you. Beautiful, valuable, and one of a kind. Well, I needed that today. So I am good enough. But not good enough in the way that the world sees me, but good enough in the way that God sees me. Because it's more important. It's more important, it's more valued. And it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how everybody else sees you, or how everybody else thinks, what everybody else thinks about you. Who cares? The only one that matters is God. Or like somebody does us wrong and then we're like, oh, it's okay, don't worry about it, right? But whenever we do wrong to ourselves, it's like we're horrible people. We already think that we're like such horrible human beings because of what we just did to ourselves. Like, why don't you give yourself a little grace? The same way you give grace to other people. And if you're not giving grace to other people, then you should start trying that. And just saying. I like this part where it says, why are you hard on yourself when you were designed to be just who you are? I'm honestly telling myself. I feel like I'm very hard on myself all the freaking time. Why is it okay to call myself a certain thing when I would never say that about anybody else in the world? I get a little like angry at myself just because, you see, I'm angry at myself. Why am I angry at myself? Give myself a little bit more grace. What are we talking about? You know, I've been working out and stuff, and it's like one day I miss working out one day out of the week. I get so hard on myself, and I'm like, you are the fattest piece of, and I'm just like, why am I talking to myself that way? Why am I talking to myself that way? Why are you talking to yourself that way? Like, we're not supposed to be looking at ourselves and saying these horrible things about ourselves. Like our bodies. I look in the mirror and I'm like, oh my gosh, I have this cellulite here and it's all over the place. And I have a fat roll here and I have this. And look at my moles. And I'm just like, there's so many things that I look at myself in the mirror and I'm like, why am I even thinking of myself this way? Like, why can't we see that, if you're a mom, you gave birth in that body. Like the body that you are in right now gave birth to those beautiful kids you have right now. If you've been through something traumatic or like, a loss of somebody or a loved one, or, you went through divorce, or you've been through, cancer, or that body helped you survive all those moments. So why are we thinking about it? Okay, I need to calm down. I'm just very passionate. Surgery in her face and Botox and this and that. Okay, don't come after me if you have Botox and you have all of this and that. Don't come after me. I'm just saying, for me, this is my experience, okay? Leave me alone. I see on social media and I'm like, I should get Botox and I should get this and I should get that and I should get lip fillers because look at my lips, they're so tiny. Forget about social media. Forget about people around you. What does God see when he looks at you? God doesn't see the wrinkles. God doesn't see the fat. He doesn't see the cellulite. He doesn't see that your hair's going gray. He doesn't see that you need, like me, if I need makeup or not. He doesn't see any of that. God sees our soul and who we are as a person if we speak life into other people and to ourselves. Not if we bring other people down or if we bring ourselves down. We need to have a little bit more grace towards each other and more grace towards ourselves. And sometimes I forget that. Now I get the scripture verse because it says, my grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weaknesses. Weakness. Therefore I will boast all the more gladly of my weaknesses, so that the power of Christ may be rest upon me. That's another thing. Why can't we just say what our weaknesses are, guys? Why are we so ashamed of our weaknesses? What was I saying? What was my rant about this time? That's another thing. Don't pretend to have it all figured out. Don't pretend. Don't pretend, because I know you. I know you don't have it all figured out. We're all just trying to figure it out. You give grace to other people, but you don't give yourself enough grace. And I'm speaking this to myself because I'm that way too. I tend to belittle myself so much that it gets to the point of like, I'm not gonna get out of bed today because I'm like a loser and I'm an idiot and I have nothing to live for. Like, it gets to that point. To that point. So that's one of my weaknesses. I've said it. And the thing is that, like, even with your friends and family, like, it's okay to share your weaknesses. Because when you share your weaknesses, that means that that person is probably struggling with the same thing. And when you connect in something like that, then you help each other out and you lift each other and you tell each other that everything's gonna be okay and I'm here for you no matter what. And it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. Let your guard down. Let your guard down and have enough grace, even if something horrible happens, even after you tell this person whatever you're dealing with, have enough grace for yourself because you at least put yourself out there to do it. Okay, so now I'm ready for the gym. I just need to put different clothes on and now I'm ready to go out there and conquer the world. Sometimes you just need a little Jesus time. That's it. And it doesn't even have to be like opening the Bible and reading a whole chapter, because sometimes I understand that's a good thing for you. I mean, you should be doing that, right? That's great. But sometimes you just need a little bit of motivation. Just a little bit. Just one little verse. And today was it? 2 Corinthians 12:9. The reason why I also do these, conversations with you, like, is because I want, why am I gonna cry? Hold on, give me a minute. Oh my gosh, what is going on? The reason why I share these videos and I put myself out there, I do this to share the word of the Lord. I know life sucks. Sometimes, not all the time, sometimes. But in those times of sucking, I want you to know that everything's gonna be okay. To bring comfort to somebody, anybody. I don't care if it's one person, I don't care if it's 4. I don't care. I love that I can share this with you. I really, really do. And it brings me joy. I can be my goofy self without anybody looking at me. I want to share the process of being okay. That's what it is. I want to share that even when you're not having a good day, even when, something horrible happens, you are still gonna be okay. But anyways, oh my gosh. Don't ever forget. Freaking crazy. I'm talking to the camera like if you're right here. Love yourself. Be confident and do not let anybody steal your joy. And to add to that, give yourself enough grace because you deserve it. And if God gives you enough grace, then you should give it to other people, but also give it to yourself. I also love you. Okay, bye.